performance from Ireland. Yes, the weekend has arrived, and what a tasty starter. Packed house in Cork for the only unbeaten side in the Under-20s Championship, Ireland, versus the reigning world champions, France. Now, that status as world champions, of course, could be slightly misleading, and many of the players have left the grade, but make no mistake, this is a very good French side, but it's Ireland who have the points in the bag. And what a night it is for these young men arriving in Independent Park a short time ago for what could be the biggest game of their lives. The French bus incidentally arrived a bit earlier for whatever reason, but it's shot through with men who have already got their professional rugby stripes, and despite home advantage, France must be regarded slight favourites. But it's under-20s rugby, so who knows how deep the talent is. Hello, good evening and welcome to Musgrave Park, Cork, for a much anticipated under-20s clash between Ireland and France. Ireland, remember, only one game away from having a Grand Slam showdown, but the championship is there to be fought for. And weather-wise, it was fairly manky earlier, but it's got pretty nice, and it's a good March evening. Bit of a brisk breeze and a good salty atmosphere here. 8,000 expected in Musgrave Park. We've terraces, which is an unusual sight in modern-day top-class rugby, and we hope that it's going to be top-class. Fiona is joined by Bernard and Brent. I'm going to start with you, because 5 weeks ago we were here more in hope than expectation. It was all about the senior men on the Saturday, and we know what happened in Dublin, but what happened in Cork was great.
It was fantastic. I mean, it was certainly the Irish performance of the weekend, wasn't it? And one of the performances of probably the whole Six Nations from an Irish team.
Gave us all a boost.
It gave us a boost, and you know, they showed great resilience coming back, you know, each time and sneaking it at the end. But not only that, the skill level was fantastic, and we saw brilliant combinations. You know, even when they were under the pressure in the scrum, they stuck it out and dug it out, you know, with 7 men. So it was brilliant at that point.
Yeah, slightly surprising, all the sweeter for that. But a few late injuries. Not talking about the ref now, he's fallen ill as well, but we're missing our 10 and our captain.
Yes, Byrne being out is a huge loss for them, because he's been so influential in this side. But what a wonderful age group for the rugby. You see the profession, some of them still obviously studying at college. You're right about a lot of the French players getting their professional careers underway. But I mean, I think that'll sit pretty well with Ireland not being favourites. They weren't favourites against England as well, and look what they did there. They'll be up against it tonight, but again, coming in as the slight underdogs, I think you're right. I think that'll suit them. And
Hawkshaw is missing. He's the captain and a great leader, but the man who replaced him, French, I saw him play schools here and he just has it. I mean, he's a gliding running style, great imagination. Big things expected of the local boy.
Well, exactly. You saw you saw the French guys at the hotel there. I mean, they're huge. I mean, so Ireland are going to have to move around the park, and French is a part of that system of the way they're playing. Attacking rugby, that's what you want at this level.
Yeah, and it is usually pretty fearless stuff at this age grade. But, you know, you've plenty of intimate knowledge of the French rugby scene. I guess they have to breed them big for top 14 action.
Yeah, the top 14 and Pro D2, the bigger they are, the better chance you have of actually going through the pathway. But the difference is a lot of these young kids have actually played top 14 and Pro D2 rugby. Bernard Laporte has really said 2023 they want to have strong strength and depth. They're world champions at this level. Some of these guys, you know, were part of that last year. There's more of them who they feel will become future internationals. So it's a very exciting group from a French point of view.
I mean, we can't identify just one or two, because there are 4 or 5 that are mapped for future stardom, but the number 8 on the French side is...
Yeah, I watched him play last weekend for Racing Metro. Racing 92, he got a great try, very explosive, was a main man last year. And the 10, Louis Carbonet, is an outstanding player who's already played a lot for Toulon.
Great. It's really something to look forward to, both in terms of talent and in terms of atmosphere here. But let's hear from Noel McNamara, the Irish coach, a little earlier. He spoke with Hugh Cobb.
You did say you wanted to see an improvement in certain areas after the Italian performance. What specifically are you looking for tonight?
Yeah, I suppose, you know, particularly around the finishers, you know, we conceded 2 late tries in that game. They were a bit disappointed in particularly fine margins in a championship. So that's certainly something that we put a focus on during the course of the week. Equally, you know, I think there were times when we could have been a little bit more clinical. We had a couple of line breaks where we didn't get upfield and support the ball as well as we could. So winning that race has been a big focus for us over the course of the last couple of weeks, and I think it's something that we'll see in evidence tonight.
And look, you're missing your captain tonight. Harry Byrne was a late withdrawal, so how much are they going to affect how you approach tonight, or do the guys just fit in seamlessly and you continue as prepared?
Yeah, I think I'll tell you that in a couple of hours' time. But the reality is, this is a collective effort. It's a great opportunity for Sean French, somebody that we know has a lot of potential. And exactly the same for Ben Healy. They're two full academy players down here in Munster. I can't think of a better place for them to get their first start. So, we're excited about seeing what they can produce. That's exactly what it is. It's an opportunity for them to front up and add value to the group.
Okay, full house expected. Beautiful night. Go and enjoy. Thanks, man.
Thanks very much. Cheers, you.
That's Irish Independent, Musgrave Park, and a wonderful 4G pitch now, but it has a huge connection to the sporting public down here, and they have responded. People are coming in their droves, sellout expected. There was about 400 tickets I heard earlier, but expecting those to be snapped up, which means we could have over 8,000, and about 10 French lads, I think, dressed as frogs just walked past me in full green frog regalia. After checking my soup, I realised that it actually was a couple of supporters and not a hallucination. But the atmosphere wasn't an hallucination last day, Fiona. And you can bang on about the atmosphere when you're on television. Someone at home will say, yeah, they're only saying that. But it was a bit special, and we want more of it.
We absolutely do. We're pitch side today, and you can actually feel it more, can't you? It's really palpable as to, the crowd is there now. It's in, and they're starting, so it's fantastic. And it's worth mentioning Ben Healy, like product of Nina and then Glenstall, and won the Senior Cup for Glenstall down here, on this pitch. Yeah. So he's coming back here with great expectations and great chance for him. So it's brilliant.
Yeah. You just don't know the depth of these guys could have the game of their life. They could have talent that they don't even know about. That's what excites me about the under-20. A guy can have a game that he's never played before.
Well, exactly. What excited me the most, though, was I was looking through the player profiles and the number of these young guys that have played multi-sports, GAA backgrounds, hurling backgrounds, football backgrounds, and are now coming this whole favouring this multi-skill set players, which is something that happened in Australia years ago, where they say that it's better to play all these sports. But to see all the young people there, I was talking to a couple of young kids before, said, we usually follow football, but we're coming along to watch the rugby because they see that as their future. But so it's an amazing response, and it's great to see at this level of rugby, and it gives the players a real boost in a match like this to see people out.
You're not as much in demand as Brent for selfies, but you can pick up on it.
That's because I think I'm Johnny Logan, though.
Oh, really? Double Eurovision winner.
Oh, why me? I say, yeah.
Tell me again, to get back. I mean, we were talking about skills a lot. We talk about power a lot, but in terms of skills, the French side, I mean, is the skills training as emphasised as the kind of strength and conditioning stuff at this level? I mean, do we expect to see some flashy rugby here?
Yeah, I think they will. I think this team have got confidence. They're very disappointed with the French team, very disappointed how they lost to England, and they're looking to really bounce back. They believe they're good enough to be championship contenders, and tonight will be part of that.
Okay, let's see. It really is a good old atmosphere. There are the players on the way out, so let's hand you up to the commentary box. Donal Lenihan and Hugh.
Yeah, thank you, Tara. And on we go in the 2019 Under-20 Six Nations Championship, where Ireland take to the pitch here tonight as the only unbeaten side left in the competition. Noel McNamara's side, 3 from 3, having already accounted for England, Scotland and Italy. But they face a French team with more than enough ability to spoil Ireland's Grand Slam ambitions here tonight. France got their campaign back on track with their win against Scotland 2 weeks ago. And while there was somewhat of an experimental look to that team, this French outfit, Donal Lenihan, is back to full strength. What a night we have in prospect.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, if it's anything like the game against England here a couple of weeks ago, it'll be a cracker. The crowd responded that night. They've turned out in even bigger numbers this evening. It's an Ireland side chasing a Grand Slam, and they're looking for a fourth successive win over France in Ireland.
Just 2 changes to the Irish team. They both come in the back line, where Sean French makes his first start of the campaign, and Harry Byrne a late withdrawal. So Ben Healy, as Fiona just mentioned, is in at fly half. How much will that affect the way Ireland perform tonight? The French side, well, they've reacted to a bit of a crazy performance against Scotland. 10 changes to the starting team. Jean-Baptiste Gros, Orain Borka and Alex Baran, all a new front row partnership. Florent Van Verbergen comes into the second row with Sacha Zegor named in the number 7 jersey. New half-backs as well, Quentin Delors and Louis Carbonal. It's a beautiful night for a game. We're almost set to go. Quick look at the benches before we do that. The late call-up for Ireland today, with Ben Healy promoting to the start of 15, is James McCarthy. He comes in the 23 jersey. Also a late call at referee. Adam Neal is the man in charge from England, replacing Craig Maxwell-Keys. The assistant referees are George Selwood and Kieran Barry. Our TMO is George Terry, and we are set to go. 80 minutes ahead. Ireland still on course for a Grand Slam Six Nations title. let's see what the performance brings as Healy gets us underway. And he, no stranger to this pitch, as Fiona mentioned there, the Schools Cup title. Glenn Stall
carried back in.
But this is a tough French pack. It's a big French pack. Noel McNamara has referenced it this week, and you wouldn't be surprised to see that back row target. The Irish fly half is not the biggest guy on the pitch by any means, taken there by Julien Delbuy, the Stade Francais inside centre. Tackle goes in by Clarkson. Ball there for Delors. Going to try and move this one. France at the earliest opportunity. Out it goes to the wing, and Pinto, little chip over the top, but he's put too much on it, and perfectly placed to take it was Jonathan Wren, the Cork winger, spinning out of the tackle and away from the French hooker Ryan Barca. Delors to Healy, little dummy from him, dragged to the ground by Arthur Van Saan, the French captain. Back with Casey. Healy once more. Hodnett trying to go around the outside of Maravat. The Asian second row did just enough to stop him in his tracks. Casey once more. Healy.
Advantage.
With a kick through from Flannery. And advantage being played to Ireland. Go back for the penalty, and it's against the French second row. Gauthier Maravat.
Yeah, interesting start. French, as always, very powerful up front. Big carries from them. But Jonathan Wren just sweeping in off the wing. A beautiful footballer. Got a great try against Scotland a couple of weeks ago. And Ben Healy, you just see the late hit there. A dirty hit from Marava right into the back. It's welcome to under-20s international rugby for Ben Healy.
But you remember the pace of the game against England, Donald? The first 5 minutes was frantic. It does seem like, on the basis of the first two here, that it's going to be a similar style.
Yeah, I think so, but I think the Irish side will be more adjusted to it. Against England, I think there was only 2 or 3 players who had played last year for the under-20s. This is their 4th outing, so they are more accustomed to the pace and the power of the opposition.
Healy only got 6 minutes off the bench against the Italians last time out. But the late injury to Harry Byrne means he's coming to start here. Hodnett, he's been brilliant so far for Ireland. He's
in the wrong side.
A bruising battle against Jordan Joseph when you get a first look at him. The French number 8 is standing just at the back of the rough there, but the penalty again goes against France. You know what? Discipline was a problem against England for France. They had 3 players sent to the bin, and that's 2 penalties, Donald, in the space of 90 seconds.
Yeah, but you look at Boudin, was clearly offside there, not behind the hindmost foot. Silly penalty. The ball just spilling out on the side. Here we have Charlie Ryan, the captain tonight, in the absence of David Hawkshaw. Good clean ball, and Hodnett, as you say, big carrier, but clearly not behind the hindmost foot. And Boudin, silly penalty to give away. Early chance now for Ben Healy. He is a real quality kicker. Saw him, he came on as a sub for Garryowen in the All-Ireland lead last week, and as mentioned in the build-up, Captain Glenstall, first ever senior schools victory for them. But concern for Ireland now. Is that Scott Penny?
No, Scott Penny's up and about. I'm just trying to see who it is. Unfortunately, there's 2 physios right in front of us here, so just confirm the players down at the moment. But this is a big kick for Healy. As regards your first one, you couldn't have placed it any better. It's almost right in front of the post and inside the 22. It should be 3 points on the board. Confident strike. Doesn't look nervous at all, does he, Donald?
No, and that's a good start. Ireland, controlling possession well. Good line out, good movement off the tail. We mentioned John Hodnett has been outstanding in this championship so far. But an early warning for France. Those penalties will be penalised.
It was Liam Turner that was down. He's back on his feet. Good to see. And a little slight limp after taking, looked like a bit of a smack to the leg, maybe a dead leg, but he was able to run it off.
Man's gone
and
on
stayed
top
on the
of it.
pitch, which is the main thing for Ireland. Casey.
Not when 5's landed on top of him.
Here he is. Quick pass. Flannery. Better from Ireland. Take by Wren. 2 Cork players in that back line together with French and Wren, so they know each other inside out. And here is Scott Penny. Try score against the Italians, and what a 7 he is.
They're on hold.
Healy just switching the points with his boot. And back there goes Louis Carbonell.
Ball in front, wait.
Too long fly half. Okay. Garryowen from him. What a take. Oh, almost got his hands on it. Bounce kindly though for Boudin.
How we get?
Offload to Baird. All 18 stone 9 of him. Trying to get through the gap. Beautiful break there by Boudin. Trying to go around the outside. Flannery with the tackle in the corner. Brilliant cover tackle as well from Murray to help his full back out. Hodnett's in over the ball. It's gone loose. France retain it, but only just. Lovely break by the blindside flanker. Delore wants ball carriers in around him. Ireland counter ruck and make life difficult for the scrum half. Barca. Tackle by Wycherley. France trying to hammer away.
Offside.
And now offside against Ireland. Advantage being played to France. It's a free shot here. There's the carry. Strong one at that. Delore looking for his fly half. Carbonell, crossfield kick. You can see the target is Pinto. Really good take from Jonathan Wren, but advantage not coming, so we go back to the penalty.
Yeah, Wren just showing his footballing skills there, but France were playing with that advantage. A mighty challenge at the breakdown. Good counter-rucking from Ireland, but Penny adjudged to have come in off the side in the end, so brilliant break here from Boudin. Strong opening for him. Makes up a little bit for the penalty he gave away, but it just shows you the power of this French side. Decision here, and they're going for the corner.
So it'll be line out 5 metres out. Big physical French pack. You look at Jordan Joseph is 18 stone. The tight head is 18 stone 9. That was the take from Wren, which he had to do. I mean, it's irrelevant to him whether the advantage was coming or not, because if France had taken that, it was a certain try.
Okay. Let's get it set. Numbers early, please. Numbers early. On the line, not in field.
Matisse Lebel just having a chat with his fly half. Barca plays his club rugby for Poe. Taken by Maravat.
Some more.
Maravat sets the ball. It's at the back with Barat. I mentioned how strong he is. He's going to have a go himself. Ireland needs to be careful here. Barat put down. A metre short of the line. There for Delore. Offload to the open side. Zegour. Still there for France. And the big man. Here goes Joseph. Joseph just short. Thought about reaching. Did that go forward? It did. Referee right on the spot and knocked on by the number 8. And Ireland survived the first French score.
Well, they were fortunate there. Joseph, of all people, World Player of the Year at this level last year, an outstandingly powerful number 8, but Ireland as committed as always, really good on the ground there just to repel the initial drive from the French. You just see Joseph here, he sucks 3 men in, but just there, lost control of the ball. It did go forward off his hand, but this isn't a position on the field, Hugh, that you'd like to be defending your first scrum of the game, and we've seen just how big and how powerful that French front 5 are.
So a big moment in the game.
Crouch!
Healy standing deep.
Bind!
Pressure now on Wycherley, Tierney and Clarkson to try and lock out the scrum. Ireland get the penalty. France go down. Big psychological lift.
Huge. First engagement of the day. Normally referees will reset when it's the first one like that, but Ireland will be thrilled. It just gives them that release valve, if you like. Similar position, if you remember, Hugh, they got a vital penalty against England when they were under real pressure. But I tell you, they're a nuggety Irish pack. The same 8 has started the championship throughout, and you know, they're giving away weight to their opponents, and it's the French tight head Boudin who's adjudged to have gone to ground.
I did wonder how Josh Wycherley was going to cope against him in the scrum, because he's given away the guts of 2 stone, Donald. Just over that, in fact. But he survives the first test, and then the line out doesn't go according to plan. Come back at the French side. Zegour just lost his feet, but managed to gather himself and make a couple of metres. Moran trying to rip that ball. Ireland doing a pretty good job of slowing it down. Going to roll away though. Look at that. Brilliant work by the pack. What they lack in size, Donald, they more than make up for in their aggression.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they're really committed, tenacious. They've had a number of sessions against the full Irish squad. You know, you can imagine the physical advantage that the Irish senior team would have. But, you know, I think it really stands to them when they go in against these bigger sides in the Six Nations. And, you know, they're certainly not wanting for commitment. And Marava, who's handled a lot of ball, but he was just held up there. I think it's Clarkson, the tight head, who managed to get his hands in.
That was the line out.
Yeah, just a slight overthrow.
So another scrum then.
Bind! Sit!
Pack right to the top of the screen there. 35 kilos. France ahead.
Hang on, listen, lads. I'll make sure they're not putting too much weight through. You've got to take a sufficient amount of weight, okay? Hold the weight. Clear? Not too much weight. I'll make sure they're taking some, okay?
Sounds a bit strange when the referee is telling the opposition don't use the weight advantage that you have, but basically they have to be set properly before he can give an indication to the scrum half to put the ball in.
Craig Casey, Shannon scrum half. 2 tries against the Italians. Brilliant game. Picked up that injury at the end against England. That's why he went off. But as it turned out, Cormac Foley, the replacement scrum half, came on and made sure to win with that try right at the death. Healy opted to take it on. Good carry by the fly half. Back with Casey. Hodnett. 2 hands on the ball. Tempted rip there from Julien Delbuy. Here's Penny. Gets over the halfway line. Good carry by the open side. Healy in behind Flannery. Oh, lovely offload. Beautiful offload as well, the French. And we know he's quick. French trying to burst through the tackle. And the offload on the outside. Beautiful stuff from Ireland. Healy, 5 metres short. There for Casey. Quick ball needed. France scrambling to get back. What a break that was. Can they finish? Hodnett with a dummy. And Hodnett charging forward. Casey wants options on both sides here. Ireland over. And they've got it down. It's a try. And what a score that is. Finney, Josh Wycherley, I should say, younger brother of Finney, and the young Munster man towers over from close range.
That's brilliant from Ireland. Outstanding break there. Sean French, we know what he has to offer. He's been biding his time. Found it difficult to get into the starting team with David Hawkshaw at 12, but Flannery does really beautiful short pass, and French read it brilliantly. Very strong on the upper body, seeing the support on the inside. Flannery and Ben Healy. Ireland keeping the ball alive. Healy, great awareness, great ball presentation from him. It enables Ireland to just go on with the ruck. And Josh Wycherley, great position, great body drive from him. Superb try from Ireland.
End-to-end stuff. What a break by Sean French. I mean, he scored a couple of tries against Garryowen last weekend, didn't he, in the Ulster Bank League?
Well, he's got 5 tries in the All-Ireland League in the last 2 weekends. 3 against UCD, 2 against Garryowen, so he is in a rich vein of form.
Wycherley, try score. Healy with a conversion. 2 from 2. Ireland race into a 10-0 lead. It really is the perfect start.
It is, and you know, we know the French temperament. At times they switch off, and but you just see it was a brilliant pass from Flannery, and French backs himself, which he tends to do. An audacious inside pass, keeping the ball alive, and Ben Healy up in support. But Wycherley knew exactly where it was. No pillar defence whatsoever from the French.
I want to take straight off the bat there from Mathis Lebel, the Toulouse winger. France now attacking inside the Irish 22. Florent Van Verberg, the Toulon locked forward. Back with Delors. Carbonell trying to use his big centre. Delbuy did well. And then France recycle. Delayed the pass somewhat. Quick hands though to Joseph. Joseph chopped down. Really good tackle by Wren to bring the big man to the ground, and then dragged into touch as well. Ireland, or whatever they've been doing well in attack, equally positive and strong in defence.
Just hugely committed. The crowd rising to that defensive effort. You know, we've only played 14 minutes of this game. It's been end to end, both sides showing a willingness to run. You just see Vincent Pinto, the smallest man on the field, just plucking the ball out of the air. Sorry, it was actually Lavelle.
It was, but brilliant awareness by him. Ireland not protecting the ball here, though.
Good contest.
Hodnett carried in and just about got away with that one.
Time it.
Casey didn't catch that one at all. It's got a sit-up visit for Pinto as his full back in support. Dinardi goes to the ground. Tackle from Clarkson and over the ball.
Good clear.
Tossed out of the way though. Delord trying to dig it out. A little bit slow to come. Carbonell through the gap, supporting his head on shoulder from Joseph. Oh, what a tap tackle! And the pop is good to Jean-Baptiste Gros. And the Toulon loose head finishes it off. We thought Joseph was in, had the awareness despite going face first into the ground to get the pass away to Gros, and France strike back.
Well, the response was immediate, wasn't it? And if Ireland thought everything was going their way, just a glimpse of what this French side can do. Again, just the ability to keep the ball alive. Great break. Joseph, they're looking for him all the time. Brilliant tap tackle from French, but it wasn't enough. He was able to get the pass away, and the big loose head, Gros, just a brilliant tap tackle there. But Gros, one of the 3 survivors from the side that won the World Cup last June, in the right position. Great support from him. And the response, as I say, from the French immediate.
So conversion to come from Carbonell. Matthew Smiley, who had started the last game against Scotland at fly half, he got 6 conversions. And it's pretty much the winning of the game. So these kicks have to be accurate. And the first one is Carbonell knocks it over. 10 points to 7. I mean, you mentioned the experience in the squad. 16 of last year's squad that won the World Cup, Donald, were involved in the top 14 last weekend, and 7 of this starting 15.
Yeah, it's incredible. Now, you just wonder, Hugh, if they were playing that level of physical rugby last weekend, on a 5-day turnaround to travel and come here. You just wonder, will they pay a price for that as this game gets into the second half?
Including the try scorer, Jean-Baptiste Gros started for Toulon in their win against Perpignan last weekend. Jordan Joseph also played for Racing. Louis Carbonell, Mathis Lebel, Julien Delvaux, Arthur Vincent and Vincent Pinto. 7 in total, 3 of which were on the try scoring list as well from last weekend. That's the talent that's in this French under-20 squad. Okay. But as you say, you just wonder how much it'll take out of them ahead of this weekend. So far, no signs of fatigue whatsoever as Healy puts a big boot on that ball.
Yeah, and you mentioned Carbonell there, the out half. He scored 23 points in that Junior World Cup final last year, but he was so good. Romain Ntamak played 12. Ntamak is now the out half starting for France on Sunday, so another quality 10 coming through for the French.
Well, this is the plan, isn't it? To stockpile the underage ranks, develop them at this age, and then hopefully, as Bernard Jackman was saying, it transfers to the senior squad by the time 2023 comes around. World champions from last year. Good tackle from Healy. Just put his shoulder into that one. Carbonell once more. Nice line from Vincent, the captain. That one's gone out into touch in the arms of Angus Kernohan. Ireland will have the line out.
Yeah, the French just drifting across the field there, just allowing Ireland to drift with them, shove them towards the touchline.
Tally, lost forward into touch.
Kernohan has played a number of times for Ulster in the Pro 14.
He's had his share of hamstring injuries and problems as well, Donald. I was reading an interview where he said he almost took a scholarship in England to go to college. Such was his dismay at the amount of injuries he's picking up.
Yeah, look, it often happens. Younger players still in the growth phase.
Ireland win the line out. Turner to Flannery. Quick pass on the outside to Wren. Oh, just winger lost his feet, and look at the pace of Wren. Away he goes, absolutely leaving them for dust. Brilliant stuff by the winger. Tackled into touch eventually. It was a pity because he checked to come back inside just before his opposite number, Donald, lost his feet.
Yeah, outstanding skill, just beautiful step. Flannery trying to get on his inside. Good pass from under pressure from French. Flannery away. Just great feed from Jonathan Wren. He's probably more at home at full back, but he's had a brilliant campaign so far on the wing. And
spilling over here. Spilling over. Getting stuff into each other. No punches thrown that I could see, but
let go.
See Moloney and Hodnett, both of them in the red scrum cap.
Yeah,
stuck in
just to make things awkward for us.
Anything clear when you set there, Stu?
Let's have a listen to what the referee thinks.
I just don't think you need to go that far to get involved. I appreciate it's not without provocation, but don't go that far to get involved, because then we've got everyone involved.
I thought they're taking a quick one.
No. No quick. It's a scrum down. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, he's a tough bit of stuff, Moloney.
So watch 6 there. Look,
scrum.
He's just trying to get the ball.
He thought they'd taken a quick one, and then in comes
Tierney-Martin.
Tierney-Martin. It's stuck in.
Look at the bite on the ear.
Well, we've seen it from the outset of this championship. This Irish pack not prepared to take a backward step. They fight for each other. They've been up against every start, bar Scotland they've played have been bigger, heavier, but you know, the scrum so far, apart from the first one when they got that penalty, absolutely rock solid.
So France with the put in. A minute shy of 20 on the clock. 2 tries scored. Ireland 10-7 ahead, courtesy of that early penalty from Healy.
Okay. No, pretty happy with that, lads.
It suits Ireland to try and set as close as possible to that French front row.
Time on, please.
Referee then just controlling the hit.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Wycherley on Buran. And again, solid from Ireland. It's gone down. Buran has dropped it again. Assistant referee says he was okay that time. I don't know. Play continues and the French backs in full flight. Van Staan. Ball against her. That was forward from Tierney. Surely referee right on the spot. Forward. Moyo's forward.
Yeah, it was forward, but again, once the French, when they look up, if they see the wingers hanging back for the kick, they will move the ball. They are confident in terms of their ability to get those wide passes, but the last one, unfortunately, just strained. No, he just
the tight head here, Donald. Is this a penalty? Do you think he dropped the shoulder?
Well, he's totally gone. His feet. He's his feet back too far. He can't hold his own body weight.
And it's 18 stone 9 of body weight that he has to hold up, so get your feet in the right place.
Same for him, I said.
Well, when you consider, Hugh, his predecessor in that jersey, Demba Ba, played in the final of the Under-20 World Cup last June. He starts along with Intimac against Ireland on Sunday. Now, whatever about an out half or a centre, doing that at a tight head prop at 20 years of age, incredible.
That lad there, Jordan Joseph, I mean,
he can't be far, even though Ireland have managed to curtail him tonight, really, so far.
And you know what? He only took up rugby 2 years ago. He needs another year of playing rugby in a French jersey to qualify as a French eligible player. He's actually not eligible. As Casey takes a quick one, and off he goes. The Shannon scrum half hits the deck.
I'm right with that, mate. He took it slightly in front. All good.
There for Murray, tracked the scrum half, and on they go. Another big carry. Casey.
Right, mate.
Moloney on his shoulder, leaves the first scrum half. Healy queuing up on the outside here. Turner to French, and back with Casey. Moloney. Serious work ethic, the Irish blindside flanker. Lovely pass, almost held. It's right into the gap of that. Had stuck to the hands there. Just a little bit in front. You could see what the idea was from Healy, but
yeah, just asked a little bit too much of Niall Murray when you're as tall as he is, trying to pick up the ball off your toenails there. You just see Ben Healy floating the ball in front.
Okay, couple of steps back.
Penny did well to leave it, but unfortunately Murray just unable to hold on to it. But you can see what Ireland are doing. They're not afraid to play right flat on the gain line and just try and play all those support runners into position.
Just next to the scrum.
Been really impressed by Ireland again tonight.
Sorry, pal. Let's just make sure as well.
There's a unity about this team, isn't it? They fight for each other on everything.
Yeah, there is. You can see just that collective spirit. I mean, it's probably there wasn't a huge amount expected of them from what I can gather coming into the championship, but they have they've exceeded all expectations so far, and it helps. This is a group, they clearly get on well together, they fight for each other, they back each other up, and it comes across, and that's why it filters into the crowd as well, I think.
Brilliant crowd again at Irish Independent Park in Cork. Just over 8,000, they reckon, turning in to watch an Under-20s game, which is incredible. Any question marks over the decision to move out of Donnybrook and into Cork? Well and truly answered at this stage. At this time, France get the penalty at the scrum.
Lisa's lost shape. Back you go.
Yeah, I think the pressure came off. Certainly, Scott Penny was just looking up, trying to get him on. You just see him there. He had broken off. Wycherley won't thank him for that. France just sniffing the fact that Ireland were under pressure. Joseph kept it in at the back and played for the penalty.
I see, fellas. There we are.
French pack in discussion about to call for the line out. Ireland back line standing right on the 22, taking a step forward now just to bring themselves in line with the assistant referee on this near side, 10 metres back from the line out. There's a throw from Barca. That one was a straight. Zegor the target, and he went up to take it. Delbuy gets the ball in back to his fly half. Carbonell. It's not the most fluid move we've seen from this French back line, and Lebel can only hit the ground on the Irish 10-metre line. Carbonell once more back inside to Joseph. Ireland coming through. Liam Turner just lost his feet, told to leave it. Carried by Zegor. The Oyonnax open side again. Carbonell out to Delbuy. Delbuy, strong carry by the inside centre. Little grubber kick through from Delors, and that one with a fine touch just inside the Ireland 22.
A good defensive line from Ireland again. They're up very fast. The recycle from the French is a little bit slow, and that's enabling Ireland to get up, stay on their feet, and you know, they're just pushing across there. Good communication, just pushing the backwards. Tackle there from Moloney. Just again, good communication from Ireland, talking to each other, working hard to get up.
Pressure again on the Irish throw, and it's come out to Joseph. Joseph with a little pop pass. Well timed to Van Verberg, and it went forward, so advantage being played to France. Here's Carbonell. Free shot here, little kick over the top. Wren has to come across and go back. Or will we? The referee call advantage over? He must have done.
There wasn't a huge advantage in that, was there? I mean, it's an Irish throw.
You had the advantage, you kicked under no pressure. Well, advantage over.
There you go.
There's the explanation. Kicked under no pressure, but the Irish line-out is beginning to get a bit stressed now. France
open the space,
challenging in the air. As a result, Ireland looking to cut their line.
Stay there, on your hand.
Interesting, the referee just making sure France keep the gap. Maybe Charlie Ryan had a word with them. Last line it didn't go to plan. Casey, ball off the top, and Hodnett straight into his opposite number. Joseph is a big unit to shift off that ball, but he did well. Wycherley came through. I think he just punched him out of the way. Healy back in the pocket, didn't get everything on that. Underneath it is Pinto. Pinto, quick feet. Thought about the offload. Tackle well by Niall Murray, and away comes France. Maravat into contact, brought down by Casey. He's half his size. Good tackle by the scrum half. They keep that ball alive. Boudon. Carbonell. Move it through the hands here. This is the fullback, Dinardi. Again, they're not getting much change out of the Irish defence, are they? Turner trying to come through. Told to leave it. Joseph has his hands on it. And they go down the left-hand side. Dinardi back inside to Carbonell. It's another French try. Quick hands and quicker feet. And they're in front for the first time in the game.
Well, they're so good at that. Just, you know, narrow spaces. Doesn't matter to them. Managed to get the passes away. You just see Pinto there. All coming from the failure of Ben Healy to find touch. That stressed the Irish defence again, and Ireland have paid a heavy price for the failure to relieve the pressure there. It's really good play. Much faster recycle there. Didn't have a huge amount of space to operate on. Great pass from Carbonell. Gets back on the inside supporting. Ireland just not getting sufficient numbers across, but it shows you just how lethal the French are, even in those narrow spaces.
And as you say, when you don't find touch from a position like that and give it straight to the French back three to run back, that's the result.
Yeah, I mean, Ireland paid a really heavy price for that.
So, Louis Carbonell to make it 2 from 2 off the tee. Shouldn't be a problem for him. Flags go up. 14 points to 10. France lead. Carbonell went able to kick the ball. They played for Toulon, as I mentioned, against Perpignan, but he didn't kick. Francois Tanduk did. And Francois Tanduk has been shifted to centre, a little bit like what he did to Ntamak, if you get me.
But he played top 14 at 18 years of age, which is an incredible achievement.
Restart from Ben Healy. Taken by Lebel.
Time your run, time your run.
well, Gellor, loads of room for him to swing a boot at that. Good work by the hooker, Ryan Barker, as well, just to put his back foot out as far as possible to give a scrum half time to kick the ball and prevent Ireland from getting anywhere near it. Casey kicks across field, not a bad one, and look at the pace again. This time it's French who can play on the wing. That one a little bit awkward. Pinto gets the offload away when he was in trouble, and France trying to counter-attack here. The captain, Vincent, gives it straight back, and Wren track to scrum half. They're going to go this time. Ireland through Thomas Clarkson, and the Trinity tighthead sets it up. Flannery, pass to Tierney-Martin. Offload is good. French, is there going to be too much on this one? Back goes the full back. Where's that going to bounce? Unlucky for Ireland.
Oh, it was unlucky. Just a foot too long. But again, brilliant from Tierney-Martin, the hooker. You just see Pinto under pressure, French chasing him down, making the tackle. But France, they're brilliant from these counter-attacking positions. Just that pass going loose. Casey doing really well.
10 shows in the 22 option.
Vincent, the captain, just a loose pass there from him. But it's been a brilliant game so far. The willingness of both teams to keep the ball alive in the tackle, support on the inside and the outside, and fabulous hands. Great conditions tonight for rugby.
Played almost half an hour, you wouldn't even notice it. Time flying by, both teams really having a go at each other. As Jake Flannery takes that, the Shannon full back, tackled. A couple of players running lines, but the pass never went. Casey to Tierney-Martin. 2 tries for him against England in the first game. Powerhouse of a hooker. Healy. Charlie Ryan, the captain. UCD lock. Back with Casey. Healy. French. Wren. Slipping past the first tackle, but not the second. Julien Delbuy putting him down. Wycherley. Try score for Ireland. France doing their best to try and disrupt there. Flannery. Pass on the outside to Moloney. And onwards he goes. Back to the scrum half there was Turner. Into contact again. France not committing too many at the ruck there, so allows the defence to fan out, but Healy fancying a bit of a half break himself, couldn't quite get away. Then France coming through. Did they go off their feet? They did. Referee right on the spot. They were warned. Paul Boudon, the guilty man.
Well, he did warn him. He did say the ruck was safe, but I think Ireland were slightly fortunate because Ben Healy got through the gap here, but he's isolated. But he is off his feet. That's a fair call. He is off his feet. But that is the danger, you know, if you get isolated like that. The French player's not involved in the tackle. They're entitled to go in, but he was off his feet. If he stayed up on his feet, he had a chance to pilfer the ball. But I think it's important for Ireland just to get that score, because having been 10-0 ahead, really bossed the opening 14-15 minutes of the game. They've been on the back foot a little bit.
Well, Ben Healy has pointed to the sticks as the French loose head, Jean-Baptiste Gros, first try scorer for them. Gets a bit of attention to his wrist, it looks like, but this is about 38 metres out, as you can see, just to the right hand side of the post, but hasn't missed one yet. The Garryowen fly half. This to put Ireland back within a point. Tell you what, he gave that an absolute wallop. What a kick.
Yeah, and important for him as well, I think, you having missed that kick to touch that led to the build-up to the second try from France. But look, he had plenty to spare. There's another 10 metres on that. There is a difficult wind down there, but of course this 4G surface, brilliant for kickers.
So, just a single point that came off a French hand. It was Mathis Lebel who went up, and he's struggling, I think, with his.
I think he stretched his hamstring. You
can
see.
Line out, yeah. No, he knocked it from the field of play into touch.
Making an excuse as to why he was such a poor effort.
Well, to be fair to him, he did pluck one from the air, the restart after one of the Ireland tries.
Thanks, lads. How we go?
Actually got him back into the game because it gave them that little bit of possession.
You want the scrum option?
In the Ireland 22.
I'm going for the scrum here.
They selected the scrum option.
Because they went forward into touch, you can have the choice of either.
Clear, yeah?
Line out or the scrum. They've gone for the scrum.
Be clear what option you want. Right.
Yeah, and I think, their line-out has been stressed a little bit. They've lost 2 so far. Whereas the scrum, I mean, they've worked an awful lot on just quick channel 1 ball. Good strike from Tierney-Martin. Try to get it back to Hodnett at number 8 as quickly as possible.
Crouch! Roll! Bind! Set!
Casey feeds. Quick strike again, but Ireland under no pressure at all on that scrum at the moment. There's a gap opening up now if they can get the ball into hands. Wren calling for it on the outside. Flannery two-handed. That should have gone earlier, you feel.
Yeah, I think so. He'd have been better off passing and then trying to get back into play and support. You see what he was trying to do. Again, Turner, and a willingness from Ireland when those.
If he'd gone there, Donald.
Yeah, he should have gone. I mean, he could have got back in and supported Wren. Just held there.
I think Jonathan Wren has the legs on Vincent Pinto.
There's no doubt about it. And Pinto pushed right in field when he didn't need to.
So maybe next time it was a brilliant move, you have to say, straight off the training grounds as Carbonell tries to get France going back in. And here is Pinto off his wing, 1 hand off, then 2, and away he goes. Pinto now stretching those legs. How much pace does he have to support as well from Zegur? What a move from France. Zegur back in his feet. Did he release? He's allowed to continue in his momentum. Quick ball required, and they get it through Vincent. 5 metres short. Brilliant French attack. Can they finish from here? Burin crashing into contact. Niall Murray trying to push him backwards. There for Delors. Little kick through from Carbonell. If it sits up, it should be for Denardi.
Did he touch it down?
It's a knock-on, Donald. Can you believe that?
Well, that's straight out of the playbook of England and indeed France, senior side.
Guys, we have the 22 option.
Space in behind.
We have the 22 option because it was carried into in goal by Blue.
Denardi, he butchered that, didn't
22
he?
Option.
Wow, that's amazing. I thought for all the money, all he had to do was touch it down.
Well, he just panicked a little bit, and all this came just, I think, French shot out of the line, pass inside. And again, just a French big ball carrier is able to keep that play alive. Brilliant kick here from Carbonell again. How did he miss it?
How did he miss it?
That is a let off.
Make sure, lads, please.
Brilliant kick from Carbonell. That's a shocker. The bones of the rugby ball.
And I tell you what, he's looking straight at the big screen in front of his face, and he'll know exactly what that looked like. Carbonell underneath the high ball here, offloads to Jordan Joseph, who's just winding himself up. But I tell you, every time he's got the ball, he's been chopped down. Ireland clearly, and Noel McNamara targeting him all week long, just saying don't allow him to build up momentum. He's got 2 tries 2 weeks against the Scots, as I said.
He never got out in the first place.
Got a try for Racing last weekend, so he knows exactly how to finish. Flat pass from Delbuy.
Keep the mark to me, please.
Against the open side, Zegur. It's had a big game so far. 4 minutes until the half-time break. Barca.
No advantage.
France just going back for the penalty, but it's brilliant. Carbonell again, brilliant hands, brilliant feet.
Number 4.
So much revolving around him and that 10 channel.
Penalties against Charlie Ryan for offside, I think. I'm not moving away. Carbonell going up the line, and he finds a decent touch. So, chance for France here. He's in a good position. 3 minutes or so from the half-time break.
Yeah, Charlie Ryan has a decision to make here. Does he keep his troops on the ground? And there's that French maul, massive power, massive weight.
Let's see if Ireland can test this one. Ryan Barca, the hooker from Poe, goes to 2 in the line out. More good take from Maravat, and the maul is set from France. It's exactly going according to plan so far. Made about a metre. Ireland trying to get a counter shove on here. It breaks away.
First man to ground blue.
And down they go. Delors. Looking for runners. It goes in behind to Carbonell. Carry from the captain, Arthur Van Sant.
No, Ireland! All left.
And still there for France, dummy. And then the offload to Burin. Tackle well. Ireland rolling away just in time. The pick and go from the hooker. Barker shoved backwards. Good hit from Wycherley. Carbonell to Joseph. Trying to bounce off the tackle, but look at the strength from Craig Casey, of all people.
Incredible tackle from Casey.
He drove himself shoulder first into the ribcage. And Joseph back about 3 feet. Incredible tackle by the scrum half. France still with possession though. Danger not over yet. Little offload was a good one. Hodnett trying to hold him up. Doing a pretty good job. The UCC number 8, and then it goes down. Ireland still having to defend. Delors looking for options all on that left-hand side. Not a great pass, but picked up well by Carbonell. Did I go loose? It did, and French is after this one. French putting pressure on. Got a toe to it. But Dinardi in the right place.
Loads of pressure, lads. So we're coming back from the scrum.
We're going to go back from the scrum.
Yeah, France are incredibly dangerous when they get into those positions. They set them all up well.
What about the hit from Craig Casey?
Unbelievable.
And the biggest player in the French
team. He must be giving away about 7 stone, but he's nuggety. He's a gutsy little player. French just getting a boot on there, but look at him. He's a real little terrier in, dumping, picking up the big legs. Look at the size of his thighs, Joseph, and he just picks him up, drives him backwards. He'd no right to do that, but that...
Yeah.
Just, I think, is representative of what this team has.
It typifies the approach, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? What a tackle. Wycherley going off. Is it a blood substitution?
I think it is. There's blood certainly on his Irish badge there, so temporary.
All good.
Callum Reid coming in.
Banbridge loose head in for Wycherley, the try score, and he's going to have to pack down in the scrum here. Ireland, I'm sure, would be happy now just to get into the dressing room, Donald, and see this out without conceding any more.
Yeah, I mean, just less than 90 seconds to go. Here we go. Got to get the ball off the field.
Yeah, inside, that's it.
France so dangerous when they get a foothold in that 22. Their lines are running, their ability, just a little tip passes, the offloads, typical French.
So first scrum for Callum Reid.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
The feed from Casey.
Super scrum.
Brilliant. Locking it out from Ireland.
A Reid, in fairness, coming off the bench there, under pressure, that is outstanding.
Really good kick as well from Ben Healy to relieve the pressure.
Yeah, to be fair, he's recovered well. He's a very confident young man. Was brilliant for Glenstall last year in leading them to that first ever Munster Schools victory. There's Casey.
Lionheart.
Related to the great Callum Tucker. No wonder that he's as committed as he is.
I'm not having much luck myself.
Barker to throw. Should be the last play at the end of the first half here, and what a first half we've had. Entertainment value through the roof for everyone who came. Little chip and chase from Carbonell. Too much on it, and away on it go. Chance for Flannery to get it away. French, he is quick, and French is going to back himself, and his power and the pace back inside. The pass to Flannery didn't quite go to hands. Ireland bungle the French towards the touchline. Has it gone out? The flag now goes up. It'll be a France line out though. What a break from French. He has been, the absence of Hawkshaw, you wonder would it affect the Irish backline. French has been brilliant.
Well, to be fair to French, I don't think he's ever played 12 before. He was at 13 for Prez in the Schools Cup over the last few years. He has played on the wing, but Kernohan here doing really well, and French backs himself. He has this inner confidence, very strong. Now, to be fair, trying to keep the ball alive, just didn't stick. But I'm sure Munster fans of old will know what I'm saying when I say he's the grandson of the great Jerry Murray. Played in 4 different decades for Cork Constitution, played for Munster, an outstanding player, and I'm sure his grandmother Lulu is here tonight. She'll be really proud of the way he's performed.
Sean French causing a bit of havoc against the French, but it's France who recovered from that slow start. You'd have to say Ireland went into a 10-0 lead, but 2 tries and 2 conversions mean at the half-time break it's Ireland 13, France 14. Analysis after this break.
What we have here in Cork is a really attractive game of rugby, and it's still in the balance. The Ireland under-20s creaking, but they're hanging in there and are only a point behind at half-time. France 14, Ireland 13. Let's crack straight into it, because the skills on display in that game were fantastic. We'll start with Ireland's wonderful start. Went 10-0 up.
It was after
young Wycherley from Bandon.
The younger fella, yeah. No, it was, I mean, great skills. Ben Healy starting really, really well, and lovely pass, and French making a fantastic break. And you're really going through the French defence, and then followed on, really carrying it forward. Ireland, really quick ruck ball, carried it. Ryan nearly getting there himself. Again, the back row has been immense all evening, with Moloney and Penny all around, and then Wycherley, just the simplest of tries, but what work he had to do to get there, you know, as a loose head, to work his way up the pitch and to just know where the ball was going to end up. So great start.
Yeah, that wonderful break from French. We saw more of that later in the second half, but then the French power came into play.
Yes, unfortunately Ireland took the foot off the gas a bit. They were 10-0 up or something, and then let the French straight back into it, and so they should have cleared their lines a bit better. Obviously that's a mistake, shot themselves in the foot. The French counter-attack well, and say they recycle it, and then it'll come out to their big playmakers or something. Some lovely offloads, as you're talking about before, Dara. Just this sort of skills in the contact area, and I say just building it up, and I say then it goes out, and it'll eventually come to the big man who's been a danger. Joseph, you see a brilliant tackle on him to stop him. He's been great, but his body position's been too high, but had the peace of mind to offload it to Gross there, the prop. But you just watch here, it's a lovely little break by the out half into Joseph, the big man. Great tackle, still on the ground, offloads it. Gross in support. Brilliant try.
Yeah, the second try came from another missed exit. Ben Healy's been very, very good, but he just misses touch here, and the pole winger Pinto brings it back, and this is where France are very dangerous off unstructured attack, and we see them getting weight on the ball here. We think we have it shut down just in the 50-metre channel. A really good tackle. The ball is slow and there's no real danger, and you think Ireland would have a chance to reset. You see Jordan Joseph coming in here. You know, we should probably get an extra man down the blind side, but it's just a genius of Louis Carbonell just to see that space attack on the outside, and he's been instrumental in nearly everything good that France have done. You just see him drifting onto Moloney's pass, Hodnett's pass there, and around the outside.
Well, Ben Healy dusted himself down and nailed a penalty to bring us back to within one, and we were riding our luck then. I mean, France missed a golden opportunity just here next to us.
Yeah, there's quite a big in-goal area. You see Louis Carbonell just slide the ball through. You know, and the fullback has probably too much time here. You know, you just see we're probably very lucky here. It's a big break for us. But this team, right, look, all through the season so far, and they generally are able to manage to go back down the other end and try and get some scores.
That's right, echoes of the game here 5 weeks ago, and we were just hanging in there, and that's the story here at Musgrave Park. 14-13, the visitors in front, second half in a minute. Going to stop these skillful monsters rolling over us.
I think we got to get body position right. You know, we saw a great tackle from Craig Casey on their talisman Jordan Joseph. We got to be either very low, or sometimes they run high, and then we get an opportunity to choke them.
Yeah, also I think Bernard mentioned that the French are more dangerous when it's unstructured, so use that to your advantage. Keep the play structured. Ireland look a better coached outfit to me. They're more disciplined than the French, but if they play a kind of a loose game, that's playing in the French's hand. Keep it tight. They've got a good set-piece game and just doing what they're doing. I mean, the back row, as you said before, have been immense, so just play a more structured approach, I think.
And just to be more clinical when we have the ball, you know, that last minute opportunity there in the dying seconds, we're not getting into the 22 often enough, so when we do, we really have to be clinical with the ball.
Can we win, everyone?
Yeah, 100%. This team has shown great spirit. Yeah.
It's the same script as an English match as far as I can see, so absolutely they can win.
OK, well, they are incredibly powerful. I just saw the French subs doing one-handed press-ups there, and I nearly had a banger, so we'll get back up and have commentary of the second half. Here's hoping. Back to you, lads. Donald Hugh.
Were you a fan of the old one-handed press-ups yourself, Donald, when you were playing? Or?
Not quite. Thank God. I'd hate to see anything happening to Dara.
So Carbonell to get us back underway. Just a quick word about his performance in the first half. Louis Carbonell, the Toulon fly half. You mentioned him a couple of times and how he came into that team displacing Entimac and moved to 12, but how influential was he in the first quarter?
He's been immense. Everything that France are doing, it goes through him. His feet are brilliant, his kicking game, but his quality handling, passing game, superb.
One for the future, no doubt, as Casey gets his first touch of the second half. Just trying to see Finney Wycherley. I keep calling him Finney Wycherley. Josh Wycherley. Josh, younger brother, is back on the pitch. So that blood sub injury all wrapped up and sorted out. And Callum Reid, who packed down in that scrum just before the half-time whistle, has gone back to the bench. France making life difficult. Breakdown. Here is Josh Wycherley. The hands from French to Wren. 2 Cork boys side by side. Casey, again, just using his experience there. Wants a little bit of protection from the forwards, getting steady too.
Yeah, but look at France, Hugh. They have nobody in the ruck. They're all staying on their feet.
That kick over the halfway line. Awkward one. And Van Sam Pinto didn't want to know about it. Here he is, takes the pass, and Carbonell almost threw an intercept there. I tell you, if Murray had been a little bit quicker out of the blocks, he could have got a hand on that one. There with Quentin Delors. That was forward again. Yeah. And this is an attacking platform, scrum right in the 22.
Well, it didn't need to be forward either, because Van Sam was in a really good position. I tell you, Pinto on the wing, he's very good going forward, but looks really dodgy with ball in the air, and Wren has rounded him on at least 2 occasions.
4 pass.
Just watch it here. Great
Turn
line.
off,
yeah, definitely forward.
Keep the mark, Georgie.
To be fair, Vincent needed to be a little bit deeper.
But look at his Pinto didn't want to know about this, He should have taken that ball.
He's all over the place.
Like you can only just, if you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, Dinardi might have called for the full back, but
if he called for it, he was nowhere near it,
and he should have called for it. I mean, he's the player coming onto the ball. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Absolutely, it goes over your head. You have to take the responsibility from behind.
Everyone else on their feet.
But the Ireland scrum has done really well in that opening half. Absolutely rock solid. I think there was 1 penalty, but that's when the back row broke off. French kept it in and just had a second drive. Other than that, this Irish scrum has been super. And you mentioned Wycherley going off. Callum Reid came on, 2 minutes, 1 scrum, and did his job.
French tight head, if you just joined us, Alex Barran, one of the bigger in terms of the 2 front rows, but he got an awful time in that first half from Wycherley and could have given away 3 or 4 penalties. Depending on the referee's interpretation, that's better from France. They're putting pressure on Ireland in case he gets it away quickly. Crash up the middle, come Liam Turner. Gets it back. Hodnett.
Tackle!
Good carry from Hodnett. Ball there. Flannery. French tries a handoff again. Crowd roar every time he gets that ball. Charlie Ryan picks and goes. Still there for Ireland. Wren almost at the line. Jonathan Wren, and Ireland go again. Wycherley scored from a
4 offside.
Similar position at the start of the first half. Can Ireland get in from here? Scott Penny has his hands on the ball, fancies to go himself. Penny trying to drive those legs. And advantage still being played to Ireland. Took a bit of a bang as he went to carry there. Tierney-Martin this time goes to ground, dragged to the ground by his opposite number, Hodnett. Hit hard on the knees, and he get that ball over just short again.
Still got penalty
Ireland recycle and still playing advantage. Murray this time hammers away. Tierney-Martin trying to go again. Martin for the line. Desperate French defence here. This will be the perfect start to the second half if Ireland can get over him here. Wycherley head to ground, told to leave it. Again, Casey. This time they're going to go wide. Casey looking for a gap. Did he get over? Where's that ball? Is it down? And can he get it back, Casey? He's recycled it and done well to get it back.
Hands up!
A wall of blue jerseys, Ireland hammering away. Flannery leaves it, another pick and go, another advantage being played. We couldn't even see a card here if France persist with this fouling. And living on the offside line, Wycherley looking for a second try.
There's massive space on the right-hand side if Ireland go wide.
Ryan carries, surely now they might see it. Flannery missed pass on the outside to Turner. Turner trying to jink his way through. Support from Casey, didn't look up though. Advantage still being played. Casey crashing through. Tierney-Martin, big tackle to prevent him from going in. Where's that ball? Still in Irish hands, and still they hammer away. Incredible French defence, it has to be said,
Still under penalty
to keep Ireland out. Casey to French just couldn't turn on the right side. Over the top, and then Ireland. Casey again. Did he get that down? Where's that ball? How have Ireland not scored? There at the back, Moloney trying to use his power. Clear out from Wycherley. Flannery trying to act a scrum half, but where's that ball? France down to 14. One of their players out injured. Ireland over the line. Can they get it down?
Held up there.
It's been held up. Penalty. Surely we got back for it.
Wait.
Casey thinking about a quick one here.
Incredible pressure from Ireland, but look, the French 2 or 3 players already down on their feet. Unbelievable sustained attack from Ireland. They held their patience. Just 1 or 2 guys maybe getting a little bit isolated, but they knew they had that penalty advantage.
So you've got an advantage over there, the other side of the post, just in line with where the players down for offside. You've got an advantage here for 7 no arms, but you've got one just next to the post here for offside. 3 advantages. You have 3 advantages, yeah.
3 penalties. I mean, you should have seen a yellow card.
Absolutely. Well, when you give 3 penalties away within a yard of your defensive line, you would have thought it's yellow. French just held up short there, but brilliant handoff, Casey.
That was high as well. That was really high from Budenheit.
The ball was over the line there, but by Casey. I'd like to see that again, because it was definitely grounded
has to
eventually.
Be good in this area. We've had 3 different penalties there. 7 for no arms. We've then had offside down here, and we've had another offside with the hands beyond. Discipline must be better.
But that's why they haven't scored. They've given away 3 penalties.
So why no yellow cards?
Yeah. Well, they've got the warning now, so they are under pressure. I thought it was interesting, though, 2 or 3 players, because of the quality of that sustained attack out on their feet. You did mention 7 players playing in the top 14 last weekend, and the one thing we know about that French league, it's unbelievably physical. So there must be some element of a trade-off for that when you're playing 5 days later.
Paul Boudon is the player down, and he's getting ready to come off. If indeed he can get to his feet, he looks in an awful lot of pain on the ground.
He'll be a loss to them, because he was really impressive in the opening half. Carried well in a couple of good line breaks.
We'll be waiting, okay?
Now, he is moving his feet and his arms. He's just on the right bottom of your picture there, so
did you speak?
That's a good sign, but he's in a lot of pain, and Max Lemar-Delay, the Clermont back row, is going to come in his place. Once he's able to be removed from the pitch, they're going to take every single second to make sure that he is able to leave. Sustained pressure from Ireland, as he said once or twice, maybe, Donald, if they just had that little half second of composure, looked up, the try was there for them.
Well, it was there on the right hand side. There was an overlap. Turner, I think, I'd like to see it again. He might have been better off in terms of going a little bit wider. But the French, as Joseph, they are under huge pressure here, hanging in there. Some brilliant individual talent, Hugh, but you'd have to say as a collective, Ireland just looked that little bit more impressive.
Well, France, they played it an 11-try thriller against the Scots in Po. They went 21 and up, but then trailed 22-21 at one stage before winning out 42-27 in the end. I know their coach wasn't entirely happy, despite the fact that he made a raft of changes for that game. He's brought back in the big guns for this match, and they have played well at times, but Ireland, I mean, there's no reason for them to be shying away from this French team. And even looking ahead towards the World Championship, Donald, is a tough pool that Ireland have, but they're capable of taking on any side in the world.
Yeah, they are. And that was as a consequence of having a bad World Cup last year, but injuries played a huge role in that. I think it's also probably fair to say that the likes of France and England, they tend to play more players during the Six Nations, because you have a World Cup at junior level every summer. They tend to expose more players. This Ireland team, I think, sensing a first championship since 2010, I think. Really going for it. They've picked the same pack for all the matches. Well, there is a high tackle there.
That was my point. That was a high tackle that should have been picked up, first of all.
Absolutely.
That's where he also picked up the injury.
Yeah, it's a dangerous
and
tackle.
He got his shoulder
around the neck. That's a yellow card.
No question.
And look at him, he still keeps fighting. French doing really well to keep it alive, but that is a high tackle. And it's from Boudon, who's got the injury.
That's where he picked it up.
Is it a clash of heads?
Yeah. Case is a tough nut, isn't he?
He's been really, really good in this championship.
Scotland beating Wales by 19 points to 6, Donald, at the moment. So if Ireland were to win this game, they'd be champions.
Yeah, well, if Wales are beaten and Ireland win, they win the championship tonight.
Yeah, we've got to make sure. I'll do the same for you guys as well. Yeah, fine. No, I don't know yet.
So
I'll find out.
The action up to this point then started off with Wycherley's try in that first half. Did well to hang on to that ball there, as you see in slow motion, powering his way over from close range. Ireland went into a 10-0 lead, and then France hit back. The offload to Jean-Baptiste Gros, who crashed over. 2 loose heads on the score sheet for France and for Ireland, and then a brilliant finish by Carbonell, who's been fantastic at fly half for the visitors here in Cork this evening. So the stretcher is out, and
you never like to see that, at any level, especially with a younger group of players. But we did see him moving his legs and his arms earlier on, so hopefully it's not too serious. But the medics, as always, taking no chances whatsoever.
Tomorrow, of course, Ireland women against the French from Energia Park in Donnybrook in Dublin. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff, 6:45 on RTE television, and then on Sunday live radio coverage with Michael Corcoran and Donal Lenihan of the big one. I should ask you about your thoughts on the Ireland team today, Donal. Sean O'Brien drops out of the matchday 23. Were you surprised by that?
Not really. I don't think Sean O'Brien has played at the level that we know he can play at. I think he'll be really disappointed himself to have lost out on the matchday 23. But Josh van der Fleer has been really good every time he's worn that Irish jersey. But I think it's back to the tried and tested. I think 14 of the side that start on Sunday started the game against England when they won the Grand Slam in Twickenham last year. I think the experimentation is over, and I'd expect a really positive performance from Ireland on Sunday.
My first reaction when I saw that Tadhg Byrne wasn't on the bench was he caught egging Joe Schmidt's car or something like that? But obviously he's not right. Joe Schmidt did mention him today in the press conference and said, look, he's just not quite 100% so far.
Yeah, and look, if he's not 100% right, then that's a fair call. But I would really love to see him get into that squad, and maybe next week against the Welsh, who we'd know so well, having played for Scarlets for a number of seasons, that might be his opportunity.
So the upshot of all that is that Paul Boudin is going off. Max Lemardelais is in his place, but France should be down to 14 players for the next 10 minutes. They're not. They got away with one there. And Ireland, with the penalty, are going to have a shot at goal. Is that the right decision, do you think, Donal, after all that?
Yeah, look, I think they want to regain that lead. I think it's, we're only 5, like you forget because of the injury, we're only 6 minutes into the second half, and thankfully Boudin is getting a big reception from the crowd here as he goes past the main stand. Hopefully he's okay. Yeah, but I think that's a fair decision from Charlie Ryan. Of course, he's taken over the captaincy from David Hawkshaw.
So Healy, 2 penalties and a conversion already to his name. This should be a formality. It is. 16 points to 14. Ireland back in front.
Yeah, and you just hope that Ireland haven't lost their momentum because of that long break. And maybe that was a factor as well, and Charlie Ryan decided to go for the post. But they are back in the lead, having been 10 points ahead to go into the dressing room at half-time behind. I think psychologically that's the right call.
Pinto was offside from that kick. If you watch him just on the far side now, it was too far ahead of him to get his hands on the ball. So he's about 3 steps in front of the kicker from where I was sitting. As Scott Penny carries it into contact. Casey to his fly half. Going to run this one. Wycherley takes the tackle.
Carries back in.
Healy. Well over halfway, over the 10-metre line as well. And Dinardi going to try and counter-attack. Good tackle though. Pulls it a little bit loose. Delors to Carbonell. Vincent. Oh, lovely hands. Really good work from the back line as well. Lebel keeps it alive. Delors once more. Pass away to his second row. Gauthier Maravat. Carbonell. Ireland up quickly. Got to make the first time tackles though. And Delvaux just dropped on the ground. Vincent, the captain, thought about the offload, with Pinto on his shoulder. Delors fakes right, goes left. 2 to bring him down. And the gap that was forward. Did the referee miss it, or did he drop it? See that one again. Did it actually hit the ground? Not too sure. There for Delors. Assistant referee in the far side, so play continues. Van Verberg. First touch for Lamar Delay. Well, Carbonell has no jersey on him at the moment. Struggling to get it back on. Delbuy. Tackled by Wycherley. Little kick over the top this time from Delors. That one just out of range for Jonathan Wren to take.
Yeah, good kick there, but defensively Ireland standing up to everything France threw at them, and I think it was out of desperation in the end that Delors...
Is this a knock-on, Donald? Have a look here.
Oh, that's a knock-on. Clear knock-on.
Lads, 1 sec, time's off.
How did they both miss that? Assistant referee was looking straight at it.
Okay?
French now. When you're getting your calves rubbed in the 48th minute of the game, not a good sign.
Got away with a couple though.
Okay,
I mean, the
fellas,
scrums in the first half, maybe a small talking point. Yellow card that wasn't given. A knock on there.
Okay, time
as the French look in. Anyway, Ireland have possession. They have a line out. And Tierney-Martin to throw. It's a short one again. It's a really good take from Murray. Healy delayed the pass slightly. Penny got the pass, but it was messy from Ireland. Did it go forward? No, referee says play on it. Now eventually the hand goes out, but thanks, mate. It's an unforced error.
It is, and Scott Penny's had a really good game, but I just wondered, did he need to make that pass to Hodnett? Good ball here from Niall Murray off the top.
Come on, lads, let's keep it moving, please.
Just here. And I could see what Penny was trying to do, but the pass just wasn't sympathetic enough for Hodnett to hold, and Ireland now have given France a very good attacking position straight in front of the post.
No, McNamara will be furious with that. It's just, what do you say, handing them this chance of a set piece as well. You know what the backs are capable of.
Guys, let's keep them like they were at the first half. Nice and controlled. Okay? Patience.
Wouldn't be surprised to see that man have a go. Off the back of the scrum. See if Ireland can put pressure on here.
Bind! Set!
Half an hour to play. Long way to go in this one. 2 points the gap. And France put pressure on the Irish scrum. And they get the penalty. That's much better by the French pack.
Yeah, well, they have the power. They haven't been able to impose it, but I think the message has got in. Take them on up front. Joseph was never going to release that ball once they had that forward momentum. You just see it here.
I can only play advantage while it's still a scrum. When it's
sheer weight coming in from Grow.
You leave me a little option there, all right?
Ireland just shearing off there. No surprise to see France opting for the kick, and Carbonell 2 from 2 so far, as I mentioned in that Junior World Cup final. 23 points, 7 penalties and a conversion, so he's fairly good with the boot, I think.
He's not bad at all. And the French fans in the crowd will be confident that this one will go over straight in front of the post. Flies go up. 17 points to 16. France back in front.
Yeah, looks as if Ireland are going to make a few changes. Brian Baird, really big man, was injured. Played for Trinity in the All-Ireland League, but a worry for Ireland. And, yes, Niall Murray is going off.
Thank you, mate.
I thought for 1 second Liam Turner looked as if he was moving to the sideline, but he's okay.
So Ryan Baird comes in to earn his first cap for Ireland. Niall Murray going off. A lot on that kick and straight into the hands of Carbonell. Says thank you very much and returns the favour. I mean, sometimes when you have a stoppage for injury like that, the momentum can go out of a team. Casey trying to get away. Is that high? And again, Casey, look at the step, and the pass as well to Flannery. Flannery gets it away to Turner, and Turner trying to race clear. That was high, surely. It was like a running headlock to tackle. You want to see it again. Pass on the outside to Tierney-Martin. Referee's arms are down by his side, so I think he thinks the tackle was okay. Love to see it again. First touch for the big man, Baird. And that's exactly what he can do. Casey asking for more. Wycherley. Ball there for Clarkson now. Ireland trying to get towards that French 5-metre line. Hodnett.
For decisions, all right?
Munster recycle possession. Arm is out from the referee. Tierney-Martin wrestling with the French open side. Sacha Zegor with the ball. We'll go back for the penalty.
It's your tackle coming back.
I thought that tackle was high.
I'd like to see it again. But what a break from Casey. Tierney-Martin, I tell you, he's a tough nugget as well. He played really well tonight.
Maybe the angle that we're at, it looked worse than it was.
Here earlier about repeated infringements in this area. That is now a formal conversation. If we see any more infringements in this area, someone may leave the field. Please tell them. Number 4, offside.
He gave the warning, so therefore this should be the yellow card.
Sorry? Yeah, look. The more you shout at me, the less likely you'll get it out of me, all right? I can appreciate it's here at the moment. Yeah, we tackle. It's not how I saw it, mate. It's not how I saw it. It's not how I saw it. Maybe my eyes aren't quick enough.
You just see Hodnett in possession here, yeah, and it's Van der Berg coming in right over the top.
This was the break. Okay. This is what I was talking about. Now, maybe from our angle it looked worse than it was. Number but Casey, 4, what a run this is.
He's had a great game.
There's one high tackle.
Yeah, and it's sloppy. But look at the energy of this guy. I think he has been fantastic tonight.
It was this tackle here that's a high tackle.
Yeah, well, he wraps his arm around his head.
How can the referee not give that either? I mean, how many high tackles do you have to have before you get a yellow card?
Yeah, but the key thing, Hugh, is all these penalties are given in the French 22. They have stopped at least 2 tries, so therefore...
If it continues in this area...
That was like something the bushwhackers used to do in the wrestling. It was a running headlock, but anyway.
This is where referees let them down. How many warnings do you need to give? You give a warning, then you show the card.
So Healy put Ireland back in front. Lines go up again. 19-17 as the French prepare to bring on 2 fresh front rows. Eddie Eclat, the Grenoble loose end, and Georgie Berriat from Clermont-Auvergne getting ready to come in place of Jean-Baptiste Gros and Alex Doran.
Well, they're not getting any smaller anyway. Gros sprinting up.
On they come. But you do get the feeling, Donald, that France are a little bit tired at this stage.
They're a bit weight leery. They're leg weary, I should say, and Ireland need to really ratchet up the tempo of this game.
For Casey. Again, power in Ryan Baird. Back to him getting his first cap. Healy, that's not a bad kick. But Joseph gets the benefit of the bounce. Off he goes. Look at this, he's like a steam train. But equally, the tackle, absolutely smashed. The biggest man on the pitch hasn't been given an inch. Carbonell trying to release the back line. Delors back to his fly half. Little dummy. French puts him down, and Dinardi recycles the ball. 25 minutes to play. 2 points the gap.
Use it.
Long way to go in this one yet.
Wait! Okay.
Delors, that's a really good kick. Flannery just couldn't judge it.
Got a penalty.
Lost forward into a man in front. Accidental offside.
Probably played the ball from an offside position.
Accidental offside. Scrum.
You see it again here. It goes forward. Did Ireland?
Yeah, kicked it back. I've seen them given. But look at Joseph here. I mean, I think Hodnett, Wycherley,
Turner.
Everyone just the minute they see the big man with the ball, they just look to chop him down immediately. 3 different tacklers. Now, the issue with that, if he does manage to offload it and you've sucked in 3 defenders, there must be space somewhere else. But,
Irish fans really making their voices heard, and Ireland gets a penalty. Big moment in the second half.
Yeah, a huge moment there. We saw France making those 2 changes in the front row, but Ireland getting the better of them. Just France shearing off, and that's a huge penalty. Yeah, Ireland driving straight through. Super scrum from Ireland. Wycherley's had another marvellous game tonight. Then Healy, no hesitation, putting it down the line, and you know, the crowd sensed just how big a moment that was in the scrum. They know the psyche of the French and how important the scrum is to them.
A try here for Ireland would be absolutely huge. Tierney-Martin getting ready to throw. John McKee's been warming up for the last 6 or 7 minutes, so this could be Tierney's last action of the game. Goes to the back, has got to win the line out. That's another one that doesn't go according to plan. Came off the hands of Joseph, but it went backwards, and French puts in the tackle on Pinto. There for Delors. Quick hands by the French now. Another forward pass. The 4th one of the game by the French so far.
Well, it's incredible. I mean, Vincent, he's been guilty. The French captain, he looks a fabulous player, but there have been 2 clear-cut forward passes from him. And again, Ireland's line out under pressure. France just getting people in the air, stressing the throw. Pinto keeping it alive, going wide. Vincent, there's no need for that to be forward. Assistant referee just called it immediately.
Lebel, no chance. Ireland with the scrum. Angus Kernohan standing right behind the Irish scrum at the moment, just to the right of his fly half. Might see him involved here. He's edging his way towards the number 8's feet. Kernohan running on the right hand side, but Healy takes it up himself. It's a strong carry for the Irish fly half. And quick ball for Casey to use. Hodnett into contact, support on a shoulder from Moloney at the 5-metre line. Got to turn and get that ball back. He does so. Wycherley pumping the legs again. Brilliant stuff. But a loose head, and Ireland crashing towards the French line. Try here would be huge. Can they finish it off? Almost at that line. Surely they are now. Referee has a look and says yes. Try given.
Is it Wycherley again?
It is. He has a second try of the match.
I tell you, his work rate tonight has been phenomenal.
What a game Josh Wycherley is having.
Well, he's putting in the tackles, he's carrying, his scrummaging has been outstanding. That's his second try. Ben Healy does really well, carrying Ireland over the gain line. Casey, again, big pass. Hodnett as ever, carrying into contact. Good clean out from the Irish players, just sucking in those French defenders. But Wycherley's awareness, he had to fight hard for that. 2 big French defenders in his wake, yet low body position, power on the legs. Brilliant from Wycherley.
Conversion to come. You can chalk down 26 points for Ireland. 20 points, or 20 minutes left on the score, on the time I should say. Ireland now, Donald, have to be in a really commanding position to go and win this game.
Yeah, they were. It was Wycherley again carried the early one. Baird, he's only on the field a couple of minutes, but he's had a couple of really big moments already. But Wycherley again getting back up, having had the previous carry, on his feet, driving over the line.
Scotland now lead Wales 27-6, which means that Ireland are on course to win the championship with victory here tonight.
Well, that would be phenomenal. I mean, if they could go into the final game of the championship against Wales, having won the championship, which they will do if things stay as those scorelines suggest, then they'll have a championship tonight.
Okay, we're carrying on, guys.
And Charlie Ryan has been very good as well. Really good work rate.
Led from the front, no Hawk shot today.
Yeah.
No Harry Byrne, just pulled out a couple of hours before kick-off.
Yeah, and there were 2 huge losses. I mean, Harry Byrne is only one of 2 or 3 who were back from last year. He had a really good game here against England. But Ben Healy, apart from 1 or 2 missed kicks, has had a super game.
And Sean French as well. I mean, that 10-12 actions to lose both those players, Donald.
Absolutely, yeah.
The fields of Athenry rings out again around Irish Independent Park. Shove from the French front row, but look at Hodnett getting away from the first tackle, and then bang, straight over the top. Presents the ball brilliantly, and Moloney looking for a bit of support. Back with Casey, looking to feed, and Healy
just hold.
boots it over the halfway line. It's a huge kick, but
You've been brought on that.
Tierney exactly the right place to gather. Beats the first tackle of Wycherley, but then not the second. And Hodnett, who puts him back there. Carried by Glenn. There for Delors. Carry by Baird, and absolutely thumping tackle goes in once again from Baird. Flying pass, was that forward? Referee on the spot says no. Fairness, given the benefit of the doubt there, Lebel.
Look at the Ireland players around, just trying to hold him up to get the choke tackle, but eventually brings it to ground.
Has to roll away and does so. Delors.
Wycherley again with the tackle.
He's been absolutely brilliant tonight, Josh Wycherley. Carbonell, tackled by Healy, 10 on 10. Well, mistake by the French back line. Denardi under all sorts of pressure. Slipped that ball away, and then the carry this time from Lemerdele for France. Dummy. Tackled by Flannery, and he had to make it. He took a knock to the head, and he might have to go off after that. France still with possession. Barca has it. Moloney just hanging on to his ankles. Delors quickly to Carbonell. Space on this left-hand side, and 2 players outside, but a tackle again, brilliant from Turner. There's that ball. France still in possession. Little rubber kick through. Comes off the feet of French and kicks it away. French is after this one. Where's it going to bounce? It's going to go into touch. Flannery's back on his feet. But that's brilliant by Sean French.
Well, it's just brilliant pressure from each and every Ireland player. Sean French tenacious in the tackle. Jake Flannery, he did take a heavy bang, just seemed to bounce, and that's the trouble with the 4G pitches at times. You take a heavy bang like that when you hit. Great pressure from Jonathan Wren. But it's the big Lamar delay, big carrier, but he landed on top of Flannery's head, but he's okay. Look at the differential in size.
I did see Rob Russell warming up, Donald, just on the sideline here. He's a full back by trade.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if they just took Flannery off to assess him.
Yeah, he was holding his head there and didn't look right for a few seconds, so he probably will have to come off. And Rob Russell from Trinity, Dublin University, to come in. Box kick attempt from Delors, not his best one. Where's that going to bounce? Anybody's ball. Hodnett says, I'll take that, and off he goes. Barnstorming run from Hodnett. Healy. French dummy back inside. Had 3 players outside him.
So if your own man's
Where's that ball? Off the Irish foot. The referee says play on. And French trying to counter-attack from here. And off goes Carbonell. Look at the pace in the fly half. Carbonell against Flannery, who comes across to make the tackle. Carbonell for France. This game is not over yet. We're going to go to the TMO, Donald. But that was individual brilliance from the French fly half.
Well, he's been the French standout player by a country mile, but Ireland had managed to subdue him. But
I just want to check when Ireland have got the ball down here. There's been no foul play on the ground. This caused the ball to come out. Okay?
So the referee is going back.
On-field decision is try.
Okay, understood.
I just want to check the last breakdown over here. So I'm not quite sure how the ball spilt out. Just want to check there's no French hand in there.
How the ball came out and into French possession, that's what the referee and the TMO are looking at here, Donald. We'll see a replay in just a second.
Well, just checking there's no hand in the ruck that pulled the ball out.
They got a break in the opening half. Went Denardi. There's French posting the ball. It's an Irish boot. It's an Irish boot has dislodged it. I think it's Niall. Oh no, it's Baird's boot.
That looks to me like it's clearly an Irish foot.
Yeah. I think it's
clearly
Baird's
an Irish foot.
boot, so that's going to be a try.
Stands,
Try stance.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. Just unfortunate. French had, he posted the ball well. Baird didn't see it, but this is what this guy Carbonell can do.
26-22, conversion to come. But what a try.
Okay,
I mean, what a try, Donald. He had a lot of work to do here.
He certainly had. I mean, look where he gets the ball. I mean, he is at 10. It's Moloney's doing everything to try and get back. Flannery came in off the far wing, but you just see he stepped in and faded out again, just stopped his run. That's a second try for Carbonell.
It is 3 on the board for France, and conversion to come here, which would make it a 2-point game.
He's got all their points so far.
Jean-Baptiste Gros got the first try. Apart from that, it's been a one-man show. 10 for France. And this one to make it a 2-point game with 15 left on the clock. It's going to go right and wide. So 26-22, there is the buffer of a 4-point gap, which means a penalty or drop goal. Yes, long time to go though.
That could prove really important. Again, Sean French just taking it into contact here, but unfortunate for Baird, who's had a big impact on the game so far. But look at the pace of this guy. Watch him just step in, just checks Jake Flannery, and that's sufficient to get him over the line.
So Flannery has come off. He's undergoing a HIA. Double substitution in the front row. John McKee from Belvedere comes in at hooker. Callum Reid is replacing Josh Wycherley. He goes off to a huge reception.
Well, he's been superb tonight, Wycherley.
Rob Russell's also on.
Okay, time back.
So you'd imagine he will slot in at full back. Tierney-Martin, another massive performance by the hooker. As Healy gets his back underway. 15 to play, and this is still anyone's game. Carbonell, right-footed strike. Is he going to find touch? No. So Russell get a chance to run this back. First touch of the game for the Irish substitute. Falling behind, lovely. Healy trying to get away, does get away. Healy for Ireland trying to step around Dinardi, and the full-back did enough to put him down. Casey, dummy from him. Casey's through, is he? Oh, what a step! And Casey for the line! Just short. What a sniping run that was. Ireland now, can they get over from here? Where's that ball? Referee has a look. Recycle. And they're going to go again. Advantage being played to Ireland, and they get the try. They're in once again. And it's the substitute Callum Reid, the Banbridge loose head, picks up where Josh Wycherley left off. That's 3 for the loose heads, Donald.
Unbelievable. Reid, he had that cameo appearance in the opening half, a great scrum, great break here from Ben Healy. Support on the outside, just wasn't able to get it away, but he kept his composure, posted the ball, and Casey, brilliant. Just stopped short, great step. Joseph the one, and he gets hurt really badly. Now, one of the French players drags him out while he's in a lot of pain. He's still being treated behind the post.
He had a knee problem, didn't he, in that game against England? It was his knee that was troubling him, and he had to go off for Foley, who came on and scored that try at the end. I wonder, is it the same knee? Because he looked to turn really awkwardly.
Yeah, and then he was dragged out from one of the French players, which I'm sure didn't help.
I think he's gone. I'm watching him down here. I think he's gone. He's in a lot of pain. It's the other leg, it looks like.
It's like his ankle. I think he's gone.
Yeah, he throws the gum shield down in disgust. Good strike off the post. 31-22, 3 tries on the board, all of them going to loose head props. Amazing.
Incredible, really. But I feel really sorry for Casey, because he's been really good, very sharp. Just see the break here, ducks in under the French cover.
Now he's walking off, Donald, so it's not broken, but look, they're there, just there.
Why are we stopping that?
Nasty.
Sorry, time off, please.
What a game we've had here again tonight.
Sorry, time on.
So Cormac Foley, St Mary's scrum half, comes in place of Casey, and we've got just over 11 to play. Take there from Baird. big carry from Penny. First touch for Foley.
Carried back in all the
Healy. Forcing Carbonell back into his own 22. Well, that was a flat pass again to Joseph. Flirting with the forward there, but again he's had no room to move all night.
Well, he's been shut down every time he's gone near the ball.
No, release. He's in the way.
Delor. Falling behind. Carbonell. To Smiley. Just on the pitch for France. Toulon playmaker.
Use it.
Delor just taking his time. He's 9 points down though. Well, dangerous one. Russell takes the tackle. Trying to recycle. A show by Foley. A brilliant try against the English. Needs a bit of help. And it arrives. Carried by Ryan. Foley again to Healy. Now that one forwards. He hasn't blown well, the whistle's just gone. It's all about game management now for Ireland.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you don't want to play too much rugby either. You could see what Ben Healy was trying to do, float the pass in front to Baird. Saw the tackle coming in.
Time off.
Just took his eyes off the ball.
Time's off, fellas, okay? Time off.
Well, it's been a brilliant game so far. Very attritional though for both teams, as you can see. It's just been end-to-end stuff down.
Yeah, it certainly is. Huge physicality, but great pace, great movement of the ball, great support. Two really good back rows. Penny and Hodnett in particular have carried really well for Ireland. Charlie Ryan there, the skipper. Huge work rate from him. The French are certainly feeling the pressure. A lot of their players picking up bangs and knocks.
Brilliant to see so many kids here as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Look, I mean, you know, we haven't too many high quality rugby's. Munster play about I think 4 Pro 14 games here every year, so there's a huge audience for rugby like this, and who wouldn't turn up? I mean, the England game is outstanding. This has been every bit as good, if not better.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Solid scrum. Delor. Told to get on with it now. Ireland put a pressure in the front row pop up. Taken by Smiley. Carried by Maravat. Back to the scrum half. Massive hit still going in. Charlie Ryan on that occasion. France going to hit the back line this time now. Might be caught here for numbers, Ireland. Got to get across. Dinardi stepping off his left. Bit of rubber kick through. Men for Lebel. Where's that going to go? Into touch. Lovely French attack.
Still alive.
They're still very dangerous.
Absolutely. I mean, they're in this game because they have the players with the ability to score from nothing. Again, Dinardi just trying to make up for that try he missed in the first half, with the pass going loose, and it's an Irish line out as well. Just the ball, it just wouldn't bounce properly for Lebel.
Brilliant take from Baird. Important one for Ireland to win that line out. They've had problems in that area. Hodnett carries. Foley looking to hit Healy. He's under pressure here. Wall of blue. He had to get that away.
Okay.
He couldn't take any time over the kick. Underneath it is Lebel. Support from his full back, Dinardi. And the other winger, Vincent Pinto. That wasn't great. And again, the pressure from Ireland and Wren to force the mistake. Surely that went forward. It did. The whistle has gone. And Ireland have not stopped.
Well, it's relentless. They've just put France under a consistent pressure that they haven't faced before. I mean, they have all the passes, but no space. And Wren, he's had very few opportunities, but anything that's gone his way, both in attack and defence, he's been really, really sharp.
Time off.
Time's off.
22 green.
Yeah, Jake Flannery coming back on, so he's obviously past that HIA. So it looks as if
22 green is there, just next to the 14.
Rob Russell has been called
22!
ashore.
Substitution.
Well, he had a change of jersey before the match. He was originally 23. Maybe he doesn't realise he's wearing 22. Oh, he's going on the wing, and Kernohan is coming off.
Yeah, it's Angus Kernohan is coming off.
He was right next to you.
Probably, of all the Irish backs, he was the quietest of the lot.
Yeah, but just it can happen on the wing sometimes. Nothing goes down your side of the field, but he's a really good player. We've seen that in the Ulster colours.
Absolutely. So Russell goes to the wing. Flannery goes back to full back. See Liam Turner standing at inside centre, first centre here, just outside Healy, and French has gone to the outside channel. So let's see what they can do from here. You know how quick French is. It's a kick from Healy. That's just over the head of Pinto. Where's it going to bounce? It's going to sit up for the winger. Dinardi, he's just got to kick this ball. And he's got a lot of change out of that. What a boot that is. Will they take this one quickly? Off they go. Flannery looking up, trying to survey his options, and just taking a tackle. That's where his pack were. Foley to feed. Hodnett. Brilliant.
He's had a super game as well. Carried really well.
Foley. Out to Clarkson. And carried by the tight head. Healy. Into the midfield they go with John McKee. And then Callum Reid, the man who takes it into contact. Baird takes a big tackle from Georgie Berria. Foley again. Ireland is very close to that touchline. It's Moloney this time who carries. And back to a scrum half. Penny. Ireland just going through the phases here, eating up as much of the clock as they can without putting themselves under pressure, and then they do that.
Well, he just took his eye off the ball, just lifted his head. But again, you look at the French players compared to the Irish lads, they're out on their feet.
Thank you. Just time off, we've got to put down as well.
Oh, he's had a lot of really good moments, Ben Healy, but just took his eye off the ball. Hodnett has been incredible, really big carries from him. Jeez. A couple of somersaults as well for good measure.
From Ross Carberry, of course, took up rugby at only 16 years of age. Donald, a strong GA background, but
it's incredibly amount of players coming out of West Cork at the moment, and you know, we mentioned the Wycherleys and the Coombses, but you had Bandon in the Munster Schools Cup, just lost to Prez by a point in the semi-final here during the week, and some outstanding players in that Bandon side. So there's a fresh vein of rugby down in West Cork that I think in future years will add hugely to Munster rugby.
Just on Hodnett as well, he said he's developed an awful lot playing for UCC under Brian Walsh.
Yeah, well, Brian Walsh is an outstanding coach, former professional coach with Munster.
Wow! Bind! Right! Set!
There for Delors. Oh, lovely interchange, beautiful. Great stuff by the French backline. Dinardi, equally good tackle though to put him down.
Yeah, man.
Delors once more. Ireland don't want to concede now. It'll be a nervy last 3 minutes or so. If France were in touching distance, Delors. As things stand, Ireland are Six Nations champions even before they go to Wales next week. Joseph, hands again. Pinto stepping back inside, hasn't been held. Puts the ball back. Big tackle. Look at Charlie Ryan.
Tackle now.
Told to leave it. VLR to Joseph. Grabbed around the ankles by McKee. Good tackle by the hooker. Still, he's dropped it. Well, that should be that. If Ireland can hang on to this ball, France need 2 scores, don't forget. That could be the game winner for Ireland. Penny. Again, good carry by the open side, needs to let go, and France contesting on the ground, back in the pockets. Healy goes cross field and they run into each other. It's a calamity, and then they missed the kick ahead. Russell thought he was in. The whistle has gone.
Well, it's gone forward, but you know, a cardinal error there. Player coming onto the ball. It must be his call. A great kick from Ben Healy, putting the pressure on, and that was always the full-back's ball. And you feel France shooting themselves in the foot, but Ireland really in control.
Thank you, lads.
So it will be a scrum, and Ireland have to put in 3 minutes left to play. They win the scrum, you feel it's all over.
Yeah, I mean, they're in control. France are huffing and puffing.
Time off. Okay. Just come a bit wider with your shoulder.
Look at Moloney.
Give him the space.
Roaring and shouting at his opposite number. I tell you, he's been brilliant as well throughout the whole championship. But you get the feeling as well that if Martin Moloney, you know, as he develops, Donald, I mean, he's a tall guy, but he has the potential to put on 5 or 6 kilos, no problem.
Yeah, and he's very highly rated up in Connacht. Real heart on his sleeve merchant. Hard as nails.
Bind! Sit!
There for Foley. Turner crashing up the middle. Pick and go from Penny. Strong fends against Joseph, who's just been rendered really ineffective. But just as I say that, he manages to win the turnover. 2 minutes left to play. Is there one twist in the tail yet in this game?
Well, Joseph wasn't on the mark when he went to play, but you just feel France, they've run out of time. Carbonell will try and get them as far down the field as possible.
It's not a bad kick.
But even at that, a try, 29, you do feel the clock is against them.
Here was the turnover from Jordan Joseph.
Yeah, but Penny just got isolated. France have been good at that.
Another substitution for Ireland, why not? Eat up the clock. Dave McCann from Banbridge coming in. Well, he's going to have to wait his turn. Ball there from VLR off the top for France to use. Ireland don't want to miss any tackles like that. And a chance there for Van Stan, the captain. Support from VLR. VLR for France. Can he get it down? It's a try. He got that ball down.
I thought he got it down.
100%. That is a try. Is there time left?
Thank you. Time off.
No question he got that ball down.
Yeah, that was my first impression, I have to say.
Up we get, lads. Just everyone get
What
up.
a breakout. And the French captain, Arthur Van Sant, he's threatened to do that all night.
On the ground. So the on-field decision is try. I'm looking for any reason why I can't award it.
Understood. Restart is going to be huge here, you'd assume.
Well, Donald, crucially, like 5 points here and 7 would make it a 2-point game. This is a try. Look, the momentum there, just there, that's the ground. Can he get that down there?
Oh.
There
he has it down,
No question. Phew. I call that one a little bit too early.
To be fair, Flannery got back really well there. Is that I think it's Foley as well, the sub-scrum half who came in, but he did get it down. Be amazed if this isn't given.
Yeah, there's no reason why you can't award the try.
Okay, that was good, lads.
Bonus point for France. That's their 4th try of the game.
No, we're in squeaky bum time, because you would imagine Carbonell is going to get this.
That would make it 31-29, 2 points the gap, and the restart to come. No mistake with the kick. It's been brilliant all night. 31-29. Possession absolutely crucial here.
Well, this restart is vital now. You just see ball off the top here. Great wide pass, and Van Sant has threatened to do that all night. Support on the inside. No. I mean, the bottom line is, if things stay as they are, Ireland have won the Six Nations. If France get a penalty drop goal, then it changes everything.
Last throw of the dice then for France. 15 seconds to go. This will be the last play. I'm sure Ireland want to get up as quickly as they can in numbers and just keep them inside their own half and try and force a turnover. France can't kick it. They've got to keep the ball in hand. Verriat into contact. VLR the try scorer. Back to Cormac. Nowhere for Van Sant to go except straight into the arms of Callum Reid. He's trying to hold him up. He's trying to hold him up. He has been held up, surely. If that's not playable, it'll be that. That's it. That's it. Ireland's run continues. And they are Six Nations champions for 2019 with a game to spare. Don't let it.
Absolutely phenomenal. And Charlie Ryan, the captain there, punching the air. And they've been brilliant. Right from the start of this game, they've put everything on the line, really physical in contact, really impressive in terms of their movement and quality on the ball. And this is a very highly rated French side, so that's a superb result for Ireland. Each and every player giving everything.
Well, they're still playing over 27 points to 6 Scotland League. Wales aren't coming back from that. But an incredible performance to beat France here. As you say, this one swinging from end to end. And I have to ask you, Donald, for your man of the match.
Well, I mean, it's outstanding performances all around. I mean, to be fair, Carbonell was the standout player for France, but for Ireland, brilliant moments for Sean French, for Craig Casey, the back row, both Penny and Hodnett outstanding. But for me, forget he scored 2 tries, but outside of that, Josh Wycherley, his work rate, his scrummaging against the 18.5 stone ball carrying defence. I'd love to see how many tackles he made. Josh Wycherley is my PWC man of the match.
And how he deserves it. Celebrations for Ireland, you can see what it means. Well, what a game we've had. It had absolutely everything. France get the 4-try bonus point, but it isn't enough. Ireland 31, France 29, the full-time score. Analysis after the break.
Well done, lads. They're just behind us because this means that Ireland are champions. Not officially, they're going to have to wait another couple of minutes, but Scotland are leading 27-13 with only minutes to play. Ireland champions of the under-20 Six Nations with a game to spare. And a Grand Slam, there they are, a Grand Slam still at stake next weekend in Wales. We'll worry about that then. We'll enjoy this one first. Bernard.
Yeah, they're a brilliant team. I think, you know, we saw them against England, probably weren't touted as being contenders for the championship, but they've just grown through the championship, and they seem to have an unbelievable team spirit and a work rate. And I think the work rate today was so good, it probably overpowered a French team who maybe had individuals with a little bit more talent, but this is a very special team.
They were tough and they were cool.
That was the difference. I said at half-time that they just could keep their discipline, and they were the better coach side as far as I can see. I mean, what Noel McNamara has done with the side, as Bernard said, their ethos, their work rate, their camaraderie, their team unity. I mean, it's a fantastic day for Irish rugby. I mean, they were the slight underdog. Let's face it, as Bernard rightly so, the French are the more talented players.
The French look like world beaters at one stage.
But man, this was as good as one I've seen from an Irish team in years. Absolutely fantastic. Delighted for them.
Yeah, we'll come back here, won't we?
Absolutely. No, it's a great home for them, isn't it? And bringing all, everybody down here. But like, they were so clinical in the second half. Little spill, a couple of exits that weren't exactly, spot on, but they were fantastic. Their effort, their intensity was amazing, and they really want to play rugby. Sometimes we were going, oh God, don't go, but they went, and they were brilliant, and their ability to keep the ball alive, brilliant.
Great. Okay, let's hear from man of the match, Josh Wycherley.
Jeremy from PwC presenting Josh with his Man of the Match award. Josh Wycherley, a fantastic performance by yourself, but look, more importantly by the team, and you are Six Nations champions. How does that feel?
Absolutely unbelievable. I can't put it into words really, but credit to France. They came out today, they were a very physical team, and just really proud of the lads. They stuck in their physical battle it was, and we just came out with the win. But we've a massive task ahead next week. We started it and we want to finish it strong. So
a lot was made of the size of the French pack, and Noel has spoken about this week about you guys having to front up physically, and you did that today.
Yeah, absolutely. Credit to the pack. I mean, every collision we just get off the line and put front shot on the back foot sometimes. But credit to France, they kept going even there till the last minute. They kept going. So credit to them.
How's the body? You have a short turnaround, obviously. You got Callum Bay next Friday night. I mean, obviously helped by the win, I presume, but how are you feeling yourself?
Yeah, she's tired now after that, all right. But we're going to get back to Dublin now Monday, get ready to go again, and go over to Wales.
Okay, well, congratulations, man of the match and the win today. Well done, super. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, well done, kid. Brilliant. Yeah, we're going to be there at Galway Bay for you next weekend, so don't worry about that. To see if Ireland can get the Grand Slam. Let's take a look at Josh Wycherley's try now. This was his second one. Put Ireland 26-17 up. Do you want to take a look at this, lads?
Yes, I think it's unfortunate that Casey, who was probably my man of the match, was absolutely fantastic, had to go off injured, but he was at the centre of everything that Ireland did well. But to say, just their ball carrying, the back row in particular, the Moloney, Hodnett, they were brilliant. I mean, it's just a fantastic go-forward ball, and we just talked about what this ethos is of just hard work, getting over the gain line every time, their ball carriers. The French at this stage are a bit disarrayed defensively, and I said it's over the line, brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, that put us 26-17 up. Carbonell came back with a try, and it was always a bit sweaty, but France never really repeated their first half form. They looked world beaters, as I said.
Yeah, I thought we just tightened up in the second half a little bit, but we gave them some soft opportunities. You know, we just see ball out the back here. It's a great break. Once we got behind them, I thought our support play was excellent, our breakdown work was excellent. We've seen the clean out is good here, and we go down the blind side with Craig Casey, and I mean he does every bar score here. He was amazing. He was a ball of energy, but the big thing is, even though he's injured, he presents the ball back on our side, and from there the pack take over, and it's a very similar try to the Wycherley one. Just really good body position and smashing people through contact. And you know, the French are on their own line far too often for their liking.
Yeah, we heard poor Craig Casey down here next to us screaming in agony. It looked like a possible dislocation, but then he limped off and he looked all right, didn't he?
Yeah, hopefully he'll be okay. Maybe a bit of ligament around the knee. But great for the Shannon clubman to do so well. But the French were always dangerous, and we couldn't really relax at all. And to be fair, we had loads of opportunities down at this end. We could have had another. We could have had another try earlier on, and maybe we could have had a sin bin as well. From them. But in fairness, they just kept going at it, so it was brilliant. But I mean, I think Dinardi, the French fullback, always looked a little bit dangerous, and Cabernet was pure class. They seemed to have a production line of like this time last year he was still 10 and Tobacco was 12 outside him, and now look at him, so they certainly can produce their fly halves.
Okay. Let me just announce Ireland are under-20s champions. Final whistle in Scotland. 27-20 was a little bit of a comeback from Wales, but Ireland are over the line. And unexpected, as I was saying to Fiona earlier, this kind of makes it even sweeter.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And, England and France this year were highly touted. And definitely, I think Ireland go now and finish the Grand Slam next week. And be a shame not to give them the quality rugby to produce so far.
Yeah, first one since 07, I think it was.
No, but absolutely.
Healy's generation.
Psychologically, this will be a big week for their coach and for the team, because you can get carried away with, we'll won the championship, the job's already done. They'll see that result in Scotland and think, okay, well, we beat Scotland and they beat Wales, so there's still a lot of work to be done, but I think this is a Grand Slam winning side, and that's brilliant. I mean, if the senior team are watching that match, which they will be, they will just see how far there's just this grit and determination. You saw the difference in the kick chase, and that's often says something about a team. The French were lazy when they were taking their kicks, whereas the Irish were coming up in numbers and coming up at such speed. Sometimes that's all you need, but the skill which they showed, it was brilliant. Great win.
Any sense that for some of the star players on the French team, they just kind of threw their hat at it in the second half? Look, they go back and they earn good money, they're professional rugby players, this doesn't mean as much?
I don't think so, but I suppose Joseph, he's a big man, and it's sort of, I'd say the hard ground didn't suit him too much, because he became less and less influential as the game went on. He did get thrown back, and yes, it took 3 of the lads at one stage, but after that he didn't go looking for the ball, did he? He sort of, sometimes you can hide as a back row, and he sort of hid and then did the big things, but you need to see him, you need to see him all the time, so he didn't really show up, but as we said, Cabernet did, and he was outstanding really for them, yeah.
But they didn't do the basics at all well. They didn't look to be playing as a team. Ireland would be playing as a team. Quite often the French, when they made that half break, they ran into players. They didn't look to put players into space or whatever. And Joseph, I thought he was hugely overrated. Ball carry was often too for a big man, too straight up. Yes, he took 2 or 3 tacklers out, but I mean, second half he didn't really look at the races.
Yeah, if you were to pick an 8 from today, you'd pick Hodnett. He was outstanding in terms of over 80 minutes.
Work rate.
Consistently being in
the
game.
And have
big moments as well. Very good back row.
But overall, if you were taking one thing from it, you'd say this team has been created as a team. Not overnight, but within a matter of months. That's some achievement.
Yeah, and I think they had more prep time this year for the Six Nations. They had a big camp over Christmas. They training against Cork the week before England, the training against the Irish senior team, and they just seem to really gel and get better and better.
Yeah, they look like a team of guys who've been together forever.
But I think you make a good point, and fair play for having the games down here, because the crowd was out here.
No problem.
This is their team. No, but it's a brilliant atmosphere for them to play. You saw the reception they got before the match, after the match. That gives them a fill up too in those tight games, and the games have been tight here and have gone down to the wire. But to say, what Noel McNamara has done with this side, and I think Baird both said about it, it's a team ethos and it's a whole team, and you saw Byrne was out and players slot back in and seamlessly in.
Yeah, no
magnificent achievement.
And Hawkshaw tonight, the captain, was a standing player, and French comes in and has a big game.
Tears the place up in the first half, yeah. Listen, we're going to make a slight switch, because tomorrow you and I will be at Donnybrook for the Women's International. Now, tell us about the pledge that you're making. This is part of International Women's Day, or more the 20 by 20
it's more
initiative?
about 20 by 20 initiative, and it just coincides with International Women's Day. So those of us that have the opportunity are pledging to support women's sports. So my pledge, which I made on Twitter earlier, is to continue to be a champion, I suppose, for women's sport, and to increase visibility and to promote the game.
Do you have to wear war paint for that?
Yeah, I have to put my 2 stripes on. I think I'm going to physically put on my stripes here just after we're finished. Or she's coming on. Jenna's going to come on, and
can't keep her off the telly.
Can't keep her off, so we're going to put on the. You can put on the stripes too.
Yeah, if you put on you have to make a pledge. But look, we're going to make it, because media coverage and participation is part of it as well. But media coverage being the one, I suppose, that we can do. So we're at Donnybrook tomorrow, and participation and attendance are another pillar of the 20 by 20, 20 by 20.ie. If you want to check out the details, see you hopefully at Donnybrook tomorrow. Thanks to Bernard. Thanks, Brent. And thanks to Hiawatha there.
We'll I think it's our day every day. There we go.
Right, till tomorrow, Donnybrook. Go easy.